Hi, and welcome to the Freedom Law Group Law Library. In this video, we're diving into a critical truth that the IRS and the United States government don't want you to know. There is no law requiring American nationals, those born or naturalized in the 50 states of the Union, or to a parent who was, to file and pay federal income tax. That's right. No tax attorney, CPA, enrolled agent, or even the IRS itself can show you this law, because it doesn't exist. This isn't speculation, it's a fact. If you know how to ask the question properly, even advanced tools like artificial intelligence can't point you to such a law. It simply isn't there. In the 1980s, the We the People Foundation boldly put this to the test. They ran full-page ads in major newspapers across the country, offering $50,000 to anyone who could produce a law requiring American nationals to file and pay federal income tax. No one ever claimed that reward. Why? Because the law doesn't exist, and it never has. Fast forward to the 1990s. Joseph Bannister, an IRS special agent with the Criminal Investigation Unit, stumbled across a talk radio show where Devi Kidd, a prominent figure in the tax truth movement, declared that no law required Americans to file and pay federal income tax. Skeptical and irritated, Bannister set out to prove her wrong. He spent 2 years in the IRS law library, meticulously combing through statutes and regulations. His conclusion? Devi Kidd was absolutely correct. There is no law. When Bannister presented his findings to his supervisor at the IRS, rather than being allowed to share what he discovered, he was asked to resign immediately. Bannister complied, leaving behind his career at the IRS to become a leading voice in the tax truth movement. Since then, he hasn't filed or paid federal income taxes. Bannister's story didn't end there. A friend approached him, wondering if it was possible to reclaim the taxes he'd already paid. Bannister suggested filing amended tax returns for the previous 3 years, declaring no taxable income. The result? The friend received a substantial refund check from the U.S. Treasury. But this victory drew the attention of the Department of Justice, which charged Bannister, who was merely the tax preparer, with conspiracy to defraud the United States government. During the trial, Bannister's former supervisor, William Conforte, took the witness stand and was asked to produce the law requiring the average Americans to file and pay a federal income tax. Under oath, Conforte admitted, "I am aware of no such law." Those 7 words, spoken by a high-ranking IRS official, should have dismantled the entire system, but instead, the machine rolled on. Bannister, however, won his case, defeating the DOJ in federal court. The question of the missing law gained even more attention in 2006 when Aaron Russo, a Hollywood producer, released the documentary, America, Freedom to Fascism. In one of the most powerful scenes, Russo confronted former IRS Commissioner Sheldon Cohen, asking him to cite the law that requires Americans to file and pay federal income taxes. Cohen, despite his extensive credentials, failed to produce an answer. Again, the law doesn't exist, which is why millions of Americans have stopped paying federal income taxes. It's a logical thought process. If there's no law requiring me to do it, why would I? However, if you have ever filed your taxes, by doing so, you elected or volunteered to be a taxpayer. As a taxpayer, it can be legally argued that you do have a legal obligation to file and pay a federal income tax. Simply stopping your tax payments is ill-advised and can lead to serious issues with the IRS. That is why our revocation of election process is so important. We will help you legally revoke the election you made to be a taxpayer, ending your election and your obligation to file and pay federal income taxes. To learn about our revocation of election services, click the link below.